We're definitely looking at a few different ideas in terms of slate. On one hand, you're seeing something that's relatively conservative. You're seeing something that seems as though it's a slate trying to imagine what would be practical into the future, say New BU, and then you're looking at a slate that's really in terms of aspiration extremely high for their goals in, say, clean slate, and B Recharged falls somewhere in the middle. I think New BU, the answers were pretty soft-spoken and relaxed, but it seems as though New BU is really just trying to do what would be possible, and they have the experience. I think it seems three of them having Senate experience in terms of what would be possible.
I think we did pretty well. We touched on the most important policy points of our campaign. We really illustrated how we plan on, reforming the BU student life and really implementing a lot of these reforms and a lot of these initiatives. I think we really, outlined a concise and workable action plan moving forward.
Yeah, I think everyone understood our main points, and I feel from how the room just felt, like the vibe in the room, I feel like they were positively seen.
Yeah, I think the whole purpose of the debate and the way that debates are usually run in public policy settings are when a policy point is commented on by a different party or a different organization, it's inherently a part of the debate process for those mentioned to respond and clarify their stance on these issues. Because without that, back and forth, without those responses and those that dialogue, it's very easy for someone to, make a very broad statement or, frankly, untrue statement, and that statement can then have, it can proliferate, because the other, or the person attacked or the person commented was not able to really clarify and really, rebut or refute that claim or that statement. So what differentiates us and what we're campaigning on and what we're trying to do, it really boils down to the fact that we have experience in making things happen, in really making things work. So we don't claim to aim for the stars. That's an unfeasible scenario, and anyone that does so is fooling themselves into thinking that it's workable. So it's our responsibility as potentially elected officials to come forth to the student body and explain to them, how we plan on executing on these very meaningful and very impactful reforms.
I think we did really well. I was really happy with all of our answers. I do wish just structurally there's more opportunity for crosstalk and really addressing the other slates specifically and bouncing off each other. And I also really, really wish there's more opportunity for audience questions because really I want to hear from the students and we didn't really get a chance to do that much. Just a couple questions, but not as much as I wanted. We want to advocate for structural change. Like I said, I think during the debate that yes, these smaller policies, these smaller initiatives are super important. They affect people, but really what has the most far-reaching effect is structural change and getting students involved in student government. So how can we know what small changes students want if we don't even hear their voice to begin with?
Both of these slates are full of people that were in student government, and even if they weren't directly involved, they are affiliated, and just their ideas just seem very in the same circle. So I maintain that we are coming from left field completely and just pushing people to really think more creatively about what the student government, what our student body can look like. I really think that creativity is a key with us. We're just think it could be different.
I think it seems as though Clean Slate feels as though they deserve something or should be handed something or have these rights that exist that don't. They chose BU. They don't really have necessarily the right to levy massive demands against a university that has given them a huge opportunity to go succeed and then come back and affect the change. It wasn't so much a debate as it was Q&A. Mm-hmm. There was no discourse, there was no argumentation or opportunity for rebuttal, which I myself came here without any premonitions or predecision, but one slate seemed to express a desire to respond and was immediately shut down by the SEC, saying you'll get that opportunity to respond in your closing statement, and then we're asked to be the first group to give their closing statement. I don't think that your closing statement really necessarily should be time to the only opportunity you have to give a response. If you want to have a debate, have a debate. If you want to have Q&A, let's call it.